After 40, you lose 2 to 3% of muscle every decade, whether you train or not. It happens while you're running a business, showing up for your family, and telling yourself you'll get to your own health eventually. I pulled together 25 questions, the ones that men ask me, they send me in the DMs and hit me up at the gym while I'm working out. 25 questions is obviously too much for one episode, so I decided to split it up into two parts. Episode 118 covers nutrition and fitness. On the food side, we're going to go over questions like the real protein number that nobody tells you to hit. Number 2, why keto worked at 35 and stops working at 47. Number 3, how to handle a business dinner without losing the week and tossing it. Number 4, why a plate that looks healthy can still work against you. Number 5, wrapping up nutrition, whether pizza night actually has to go in your daily, weekly life. On the fitness side, we have question number 1, the minimum that actually moves the needle. Number 2, why the scale can drop while the mirror stays the same. 3, the muscle loss after 40 most men never get warned about. Number 4, why 20s workouts stopped working in your 40s. And the last one for fitness is how much walking really matters. Episode 119 will pick up after this. It's going to be anchored around blood work, chronic illness, travel, stress, lifestyle, and how to age strong. Let's jump into these 10 questions right now. Let's get it. The real protein number that you need to know and no one really shares with you. Question was, how much protein do I actually need to lose fat without feeling starving all day? Well, for most guys that are 30 or above, the minimum amount of protein is going to be probably about 150 grams. And most men I coach are eating nearly half that, or maybe even 100 grams a day. I'm wondering why they're starving by 10 p.m. and they're on the food roller coaster by 10 p.m. We want to aim somewhere from between 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Now, it depends on if you have a lot of body weight mass, then we might want to go off of lean body mass. So 150 to 200 pounds split across 3 or 4 meals most of the time lands you about 40 to 50 grams every time you eat. I coach clients that work 12-hour shifts, and this guy, he was actually a detective and he was running a protein shake and whatever sat in the break room in the day, and we had to change it because he was starving at different times of his shifts. We rebuilt the plate around what I call a protein first model, 4 to 6 ounces of protein as a minimum amount at each meal. And before he even started to add other things to his plate. Once he did that, his hunger dropped within 2 weeks and the scale started to move as well. Protein will keep you full longer than carbs and fats will. 3 p.m. will stop feeling like a fight against your will and soul to not overeat. He kept eating roughly the same amount of food. What we changed was just the amount of it at the different times of his day, and he was able to maintain a deficit through that. If this sounds like your typical week, we don't need to guess, and I can actually give you a free assessment at brianparana.com. It takes about 10 minutes and actually gives you a real starting point on your calories and macros. Why keto worked at 35 and quit working when you're 47. The question was, I lost weight on keto a few years ago. Why can't I make it work now? Well, keto can work. You just cut carbs out of your life. But if you're sitting across from your family and they're eating something different every single night, that's why it eventually doesn't work for you, because it doesn't fit into your everyday life. Keto and fasting are both buzzwords, and they do work because of creating a calorie restriction, whether it's through cutting out carbs or just not eating in the day for fasting. The hard part is making them actually survive in your day to day life past a few weeks or months. I had a client tell me his wife did keto with him years ago and it worked, and fat would melt off of him and weight just poured off. But every time that he came across a holiday event or a big family dinner, he ended up grabbing some carbs and falling off of the plan for that night, which then it ended up tripping him up. And this gets really old fast if you are trying to stay on the no carb train, and then it just keeps tripping you up because you end up eating it. Now, with fasting, we need to build a food window with clients. There's a time in the day that you can eat and a time in the day that you don't. I'm a big fan of 12-hour gap between your last bite the night before and the first bite in the morning. We don't need to do special meals, no special plates at dinner or eating separate from the family. But just having that time window alone helps you control how many hours you actually eat food. And it can help control overall calories without having to track a single carb. One client called it first approach that didn't make him feel like he was burdened at his own dinner table with his family, and he could actually find a way to make it work. Now, if you want a plan that actually can survive your dinner plate, then we're looking at the Health Hot Seat on my Driven for Health podcast. You can just simply comment hot seat and I can message you back, and we can start off and talk about how to give you an actual plan that can fit in your real life. How to eat at a business dinner without wrecking your week. The question was, how do I eat out at client dinners and work when I travel without blowing my progress? One guy I coach used to leave business dinners easily 1,500 calories deep. Usually, as soon as you top it off with a beverage, it's more like 2,000 before he left the table. And that's not even to account for all the other food and meals that are in his day. This is a big challenge for him because he needs 2,000 calories or less to be able to maintain his body weight because he doesn't move that much. He decides before he sits down what he's eating now. So in the car, I coach him through to pull up the menu on his phone, pick out a protein, let's skip the bread basket and order double vegetables. And with this guy and a lot of you other guys listening in with busy work professionals, you've been to the fine dining restaurants, you've been out to eat countless times. So it's not special anymore. But we need a protein, double vegetable, skip the starch, and that'll keep your calories maybe 800 or less. Now, at the table's drinking, this will give you a little bit more room to have a little bit of a beverage, not the tallest boy in that they serve, but a 12 ounce could fit in. Also, appetizers run about 50 calories in a bite. So he treats the bread and sharing these plates like a calorie tax and not a meal. When he takes a bite, he can mentally add up 50 calories at a time. He still enjoys dinners and jokes with his clients and has a good time that evening. But what's changed is how he makes decisions before he goes into that. Not after, when he's tired, he's hungry, he's staring at the menu for whatever someone else picks. Now he's down 28 pounds, and 2 years later, he still texts me and says that he is able to maintain this lifestyle. If you have client dinners and you really have struggled to know what to eat when you're eating out or on the go, well, I have an eating on the go guide. Just simply message eating on the go and I can send you to get it straight away. It's a super easy PDF to know and understand. You can keep in your back pocket to be able to keep you being successful long term. The healthy plate that you think is working for you, but it's actually not. It's working against you. The question is, why do I gain weight even when I am eating clean? Keeping that in quotations. Salmon and avocado on the same plate look healthy, but they add up to 50 grams of fat pretty quickly. And that could be a fat bomb that has a lot of calories. 50 times nine is what, almost 500 calories, right? It's 440, 450 calories. There we go. But then as soon as you cook the plate or drizzle oil or butter on, then we just multiply it. That's just a lot of fat for one meal. So, and that's what the math is. Fat has 9 calories per gram of protein, per gram of food, and protein and carbs have 4. So let's take an egg, for example. It's about 75 fat calories, even though most guys will think of an egg as a protein source. Avocado and salmon are really healthy, but when you stack them in the same meal, they are fat, dense, calorie foods that we will probably want to space out in the day. And unfortunately, fat turns into fat the fastest, easiest, and it just adds calories. And usually, fat just shows up out of nowhere. Now, as soon as we can get on a moderate to lower fat approach, we can start to quickly cut calories and not sacrifice fullness, which is important. So, having vegetables on the plate in high volumes can work really well. If your food already looks healthy and the scale won't move, it's probably how much of what you're eating on the plate. So, we might have to do a deep dive analysis on what that is. If you DM me the word plate, then I can send you over how to build a healthier plate that is going to work for you. Do you have to give up pizza night to lose weight? The question is, do I have to give up beer, pizza, happy hour with guys to actually lose weight? I've never once told anybody I've ever worked with for the last 23 years to give up pizza night, especially with their family, the kids, say that Friday night fun time. This is usually the fastest way to break the plan, make it fail 3 weeks in. What I like to do is run something close to 80-20 or even 90-10 split for most of my clients. 80% of your meals are built around protein and vegetables, and that allows you 20% of your calories to have other things. One client kept his Friday night pizza night with his kids, and we have a pizza strategy where he'd have a chicken salad beforehand because it was super easy to add there. He'd have 2 slices of pizza, and a typical pizza costs about 300-ish to 400 calories. So he's still able to maintain that whole meal under 800, and that really helps him in the day. Still participate and enjoy pizza because who doesn't like pizza? Well, if he does this every single week straight for 100 days and he can still lose 20 pounds or more, and you can hear that in episode 117 on Driven for Health. Chris and I talk about how he works in family dinner nights, such as pizza and traveling, and it works for him. And that's the whole point of any of the coaching I ever do. The common mistake is trying to replace every single day being perfect, Monday through Thursday, and never allowing any what I call MBF, moderation, balance, and flexibility into the plan so that you just ultimately feel miserable and don't do it. If you're trying to lose weight and you think you have to give up things that you like, such as pizza, well, I have a pizza strategy for you. It's in my Eating on the Go guide, and I'd love to give it to you. So just reply with on the go, and I can share that PDF with you, and it'll talk about how to create your own 80-20 rule around pizza for your family. The minimum that actually moves the needle. Well, the question is, do I need to work out every single day to actually see results? And a lot of people do. It goes into that all or nothing mindset. I have clients training 3 days a week who don't have to go all out and grind 6, 7, or the Arnold Schwarzenegger 8 days a week program and plan. The difference isn't really it's not the effort. It's not the intensity. It's the intention that they are able to leverage just basic movement in their day with what I call muscle building activities, some basic strength training, and then allowing for you to be able to move your body. I love 10K steps a day. What we're looking for is a minimum effective dose. And that's usually, especially for strength training, 3 to 4 sessions in a week with a daily step target and making sure you have protein at every meal, 30, 40, or even 50 grams to make sure that you stay full enough. That's it. It can be as basic as that. I've literally had clients have wild success by single targeting that type of approach. And coaching business owners for who work 60 plus hours a week and think that they have to carve out hours in the gym every week, which is impossible. It's not going to work. So we have to cut into their schedule and make energy efficient, effective workouts that can burn lots of calories in not a lot of time and sneak in steps throughout the day. This consistency can build days, weeks, months into years, and you'll be more successful at being consistent if you can have an easier minimum effective dose of say 3 days a week of exercise. Now, if you need some more help on building exercise routines, Driven for Health, episode 17 starts the exercise pyramid. So you can listen in on that episode and the next 5 to be able to start creating your own strong muscle building, fat burning workouts to change the way you look and feel. Why the scale says less and you look the same? The question was, I lost 12 pounds, but I still look the same in the mirror. What's going on? Well, 12 pounds on the scale sounds exciting, but if your genes haven't changed, what's actually going on? Are we losing fat and leaving muscle altogether or burning it? Or like, what are we doing? Well, when you cut out a lot of calories without eating enough protein or lifting weights, your body can possibly increase the likeliness of burning muscle along with the fat. So think of instead of, say, 10% to 20% of your body weight loss across, say, 20, 30, 40 pounds, you might actually end up losing more percentage of muscle mass, 30 or 40%. And that's something that's happening with a lot of the GLP-1s or any fad diets that people fast for a long time or just cut calories for a long period of time. You end up risking losing muscle mass, which we don't want to do. Goal is 150 to 200 grams of protein for most men. When we pair that with some heavier strength training to focus on muscle building activities, then we are in business. Now, if you end up stalling on the scale for 6 weeks straight and the weight hasn't changed, but you drop a full pant size and your body composition, body percent fat goes down, then we know that you're actually doing it right. We're losing weight, we're burning calories in a really good way. Your waist measurement, your neck measurement, your pant size, the way you fit in the XL going into an X, a large, or even a large to medium is going to tell the real difference in how your body's changing, not just stick with whatever the scale does or doesn't say. Now, if the scale and the mirror are telling you 2 different stories, we definitely need to focus on some of the other pieces and the parts of what's your calorie deficit, how much are you lifting, and I have a metabolic assessment that I can give you. If you just type and share metabolism, then I can offer up the metabolic assessment for you to be able to start addressing what's going on in your body and results. Muscle loss after 40 that you are not aware of because you're not even thinking about it. Question was, should I do more cardio or more weights after 40? Well, After 40, you lose 2 to 3% of muscle every decade, whether you train or not. And that's a sad truth of the human existence and the fact that we age. Think of Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's not quite the Austrian oak he once was from years prior. Now, that number is the real reason why men in their 40s are feeling their body changes overnight. All of a sudden, they wake up and like, what happened? Wasn't this acute, dramatic situation that showed up? It's just that your body was losing small bits of muscle. You sat for the last in your 30s trying to hustle for work, and you get in your 40s, and sure, your career's established, but so is your metabolism and in the slow gear. Now, you could even be eating the same amount of food and maintaining your weight, but it'll add up. And now, cardio actually burns calories while you're doing it, and strength training protects muscle and burns calories longer, even if you end up sitting at a desk a lot. I tell clients to think of muscle as their engine size, and a bigger engine burns more fuel, even at idle. Most guys in their 40s need 3 to 4 strength training sessions a week just to hold their body mass and body fat percentage and muscle mass on their body. But cardio can actually get you into a catabolic state where strength training is an anabolic state. Catabolic meaning breakdown, anabolic meaning build up. So we do want to make sure that we focus on that muscle building activity. Now, if you're feeling like your metabolism is really slowing down, then I would challenge you to listen to Driven for Health episode number 2. I talk about how fast can men in their 40s actually lose fat. Check it out and start applying the information you learn there. By your 20s and you're doing workouts doesn't work when you're in your 40s or 50s. The question was, I used to lift heavy in my 20s. Why does my body respond so differently to how I train now? Training like you're 25 and at 47 is how you end up hurt and not strong. Even myself at 43, I'm starting to feel these and I don't really like it. I identify as being a strong, fit individual, and I'm getting some aches and pains that are lingering longer than I want or show up faster than I think they should, which is sad but true. Recovery is a huge game changer when it comes to different times of your life. And focusing on training hard in your 20s can be fine and sleep 5 hours and eat poorly and fast food and all this. You still will recover because the human body will do that at that time. But 40s, 50s, you need more time to warm up your joints. Your nervous system needs more rest in between your lifts, your harder sessions, and sleep needs to be top priority, and especially mobility. You have to stretch and bend and be flexible to be able to keep your joints moving and your body open. So we can't get hurt. We need progression over time around your strength training and add small amounts of weights from one week to the next. And you will be surprised at how fast you actually do stack weight just being consistent in the gym, which is most of the hardest battle, anyways. If your body isn't responding the way you want it to, and we need smarter progression in your workouts and your exercise program, then listen to the Strength Pyramid and Driven for Health, episode 17 through 21. It's going to go break down different sets, reps, all sorts of different exercises, how to pick them out so that you end up learning how to exercise appropriately for your life and your body. How much walking actually matters. The question was, does walking actually do anything? Or am I just out here walking around, spending way too much time trying to move my body? Or should I run or lift weights to lose fat? The real answer is 10 minutes of walking frequently throughout the day, especially after meals, can do significant amount of adding in small amounts of steps, but it also helps balance out blood sugar levels and keeps your blood sugar levels more stable, which affects your energy. So that after you get done eating, you can go walk and your glucose doesn't go way up into your bloodstream and get pulled out through insulin, which causes you to then possibly be tired afterwards and even want more food, sugar, and stuff. That's not what we want. So, walking after a workout can, or a meal, excuse me, is the easiest way to help you manage glucose and keep your muscles ready for the fuel that they need. Having smaller blood sugar spikes also affects your fat storage, and it will keep it a lot easier to manage your fat throughout the day. So we definitely want to set a daily target for 8, or I like 10,000 steps as a minimum. And you can break it up and get it throughout the day if you have a desk job or you don't move so much in a day. It is really important. And so many clients, they just start walking more in the first 2 weeks. I see this all the time with my guys in the Call to Rise program. They end up losing fat and they end up having more energy because movement is energy. Now, if you need help with some accountability and some structure around how to get the actual things done that you need in your day to day life, then the Call to Rise program might be for you. It's a 100-day fat loss challenge that really focuses on proper nutrition, the right type of movement, and fitting it into your lifestyle for sustainable long term outcomes. That's 5 questions on food, 5 on training, pulled straight from real clients, real people messaging me. The next episode, 119, covers blood work, labs, travel, stress, lifestyle that wrecks a good plan, and how to stay strong as you age. If today hits home, then certainly head to thecalltorise.com and check out the 100-day fat loss challenge and how it can be built around your specific life, or any one of the other words that I said or the other lead magnets. You can definitely check them out for the just emailing me. Just send me an email, brian@brianparana.com, and I'll be able to send them over to you. Catch you next one.